Huh. No wonder Astrobot won Game of the Year last year. This was the competition. Yo, what's good? So there. You clicked the video. Now sit down, shut up, and let me show you how I platinum this game with only one hand. So you guys voted, and here I am 100%ing Waifu Impact 2. It may have been only for you guys, but I appreciate you guys regardless. Y'all are some real ones. And since we didn't meet that deadline that I said, which was Friday, I went ahead and decided based off of which one got the most votes before the other one, which was Waifu Impact 2. So. But yes, my dear viewer, I did say dos. For anybody that's Hispanic that doesn't know English, that means dos. Moving on. But also, that means I have another video that actually goes along with this video, which is part 1 of Waifu Impact. You don't have to watch these videos in order because it's just me fooling around with these games and there's no story in these games. So you can finish this one and then go watch that one if you want to. I really appreciate it. But disclaimer, I did not platinum the first one because I didn't care and it wasn't really that interesting enough for me to do it. Maybe if you guys want it, but you gotta show me that you want it. But enough talking about it. Let's platinum this game and see what's in store for us. Yep. This feels so nostalgic. No direction and two big old... Where are they? Where are they? Well, with that extremely disappointing introduction out of the way, and a quick read of the controls, because I may have had a reading problem in part 1. But we actually came across our first enemy in this game. And crazy enough, it's a new enemy type. An off-brand choo-choo. Yeah, don't get me wrong, it's new. That don't mean it's creative. And for some demonic reason, the controls by default are all inverted. So killing the first slime was pure luck. The second was just embarrassing.
Hey! Hey! Why are you running? Why are you running?
But just like the off-brand choo-choo, they go with the Breath of the Wild shot of the whole world. But only here you can't fall to your death because there's no fall in it. But one thing that is a little different this time around is the game actually gives you an actual glow. Collect blue gems and unlock more waifu. So, off I go. The thing I actually like about this sequel compared to part 1 is that they actually have small puzzles. Most of the puzzles are pretty simple, but I still appreciate it regardless, because it gives me something to do besides looking at the butt. Also, another cool detail about this game is that they actually have swimming physics.
Oh my god! Wow!
Good on you, whoever made this game. And we also discovered our third and last collectible that we'll be collecting, which is costumes. And yes, I'll show them all to you in the end, you perverts. And after all of that, we actually got our first trophy to pop. By the way, we have 24 trophies to get, so it's not that much to do. The first trophy we got was for leveling up our waifu to White Heart. Oh yeah, by the way, there's a leveling up system. I should have went over all this at the beginning, but you be alright. And if I'm being honest, there was something that started to become very apparent to me right after this. It was that the trophies were coming a little too fast, which I was happy about. I didn't have to pull out my hair, but then I didn't really have any pain for you guys to laugh at. Anyways, so after getting the second trophy, I proceeded to collect more gems, which we had 250 to collect, by the way. And I'm speeding a lot of this up, not because I don't want to show you guys, but mainly because outside of a few enemies and a few puzzles, 95% of this game is just running. When you fight your enemies, you're running. When you're trying to get to an objective, you're just running. When you try to complete an objective, you're just running. There's just a lot of open space with mostly nothing there, so I don't want to bore you guys. But besides that, I continue climbing a mountain where I actually met a familiar face. A really familiar face. Yep, these dickheads are back. But after all of that, I finally made it to the top where I unlocked my third trophy and my first waifu. And this is actually a good time to talk about the differences this time around with the different girls that you unlock. So with the leveling system comes special abilities and powers you get with each girl, but each power-up is locked behind, well, your levels. And you may have seen it, but I do dash through the air a few times throughout the playthrough, which each girl is equipped with that ability, which is a nice mechanic to add to a game that's 95% running. But also sucks because it's not something you can spam. But hey, at least it makes platforming a little bit more fun. This is where the statement I made earlier about the trophies actually started to show, because within 30 minutes of me running and finding gems, clothes, and other enemies, I collected 9 trophies. Continuing off the 3rd trophy I already obtained, the 4th trophy was actually for leveling up to level 2 hearts. The 5th one was for defeating, I'm assuming was a mini boss in the area. The 6th one was for completing a puzzle that your blind Mima could solve. The 7th one was for using my ultimate attack for the first time. The 8th one was for unlocking all the fast travel points. And the 9th one was for accidentally going to the next level, which we're definitely going to talk about in a second. The 10th trophy was collecting every blue gem on the map. The 11th one was for leveling up to heart level 3. And the 12th trophy was for collecting all of the costumes on the map. Damn, that was a lot to say. So going back to trophy 9. So when I got to the end of the first level, a lot of things started to become very clear to me. 1. There has to be at least 4 levels to 5 levels with a matching girl to go with it. 2. Each level there is a white wall that doesn't allow you to access unless you have a specific girl. And 3, there are 250 gems to collect with no direction, so missing just 1 will be hell for me. So the rest of the game should be really fun. But after all those trophies and collecting everything on this level, it was time to move on to level 2. Now hopping right into the next level, it became extremely apparent that each level would be following the trends of the elements. Water, ice, fire, and maybe lightning. We all know the deal by now. But I found out later that I was right about the fire, but not the lightning. Also, this level introduced a new enemy, which I thought was supposed to be an ice slime, but it came out to be just a white colored slime with no powers or elemental powers at all. Which is kind of sad, honestly. I actually gave the game the benefit of the doubt there, but I guess that's on me. So I proceeded to collect more items, and then I came upon this chest and, oh, I don't think that was supposed to happen. She seems to be having a good time though. Of course she is. There's no thoughts behind those brain. But after all that, I started to realize just how much more empty space there was to this map compared to the first one. At least in the first map, everything wasn't super spaced out between collectibles and enemies and where you needed to go. But with this layout, there's one big mountain in the middle with nothing but empty space between the mountain and the rest of the explorable areas, which weren't that big to add. Which meant getting to each side of the map would be extremely tedious if I missed even 1 gem. And it was. And once again, I won't show the full journey simply because nothing really exciting happened. So after collecting more gems, clothes, and waypoints, I ended up getting to the 3rd waifu, which I found out you actually needed to collect 100 gems to actually unlock the waifu on the map. On top of that, I also forgot to mention that each girl had their own type of gun, just like part 1. The first girl had an SMG, the second was a shotgun, and the third I think was a sniper or rifle. I don't know, they're all laser beams anyways. On top of that, it was cool that they had laser beams rather than water guns like the first game. I still can't understand why they were water guns in the first one. But the few trophies we got this time was only 3. The first was for unlocking the waifu, of course, who I think actually had the coolest design of all the girls, just my opinion. The second was for unlocking 3 different skins, which I'll explain more about later. And the third was for unlocking all the waypoints on this island. Oh yeah, I almost died because these piece of cacas that ganged up on me for $10. But after actually making it to the end and going back to the white door that was locked, I actually felt my stomach drop to my ass because I still needed 10 more gems and 1 more clothing piece, which was really bad because I had already searched the entire island and went to each part of it, which took me only 10 minutes to find because I never thought to check this random ass hill in the corner. Maybe because I kept getting jumped every time I was over there, but I still couldn't find the outfit. It took me an hour to find it. I actually took a break and stopped recording because it took me an entire hour to find this piece of shitty booty ass caca crap just for it to be in the corner of the spot that I had already been to where the white gate was. Can only get better from here, right? Right? Well, with all those collected, it was time to move on to level 3. And while traveling to the next level, we actually got another trophy to pop. Everything about this map is everything I complained about in level 2, but 1,000 times worse. But before I rant about that, let's get the trophies out of the way, alright? The trophies pop for the exact same actions you did from level 1 and 2. I got 1 for getting to level 4 hearts, I got another for unlocking all the waypoints, and the last one was for unlocking the fire waifu, who I was right about. Now, with the unimportant crap out of the way, let me bitch about this map. Look at this. Look at this map. Do you see this map? 90% of this map is just empty fucking space. Like I said before, this map double downs on everything I complain about so far. The space between activities and gyms are so far apart, where majority of this map is literally just running from one spot for 3 gyms to another spot that might have actually nothing at all. On top of all of that, the waypoints are so stupidly placed to the point to where no matter which one you warp to, you'll most likely still have to do a 2 to 3 minute walk just to get where you're going. The enemies are even more annoying, mainly because of the newer red slime, which of course I thought was going to be a fire type, but I guess I'm wrong for wishful thinking, because all they want to do is chase you like a crackhead who wants to wash your windows for a quarter, and all you have is dimes. On top of all of that, all of the gyms and outfits are even more spaced out, so leaving just one gym untouched would be devastating, which I'll get to in a minute. But then on top of that, there was one of these damn puzzles that I had to defeat all of the enemies, which wasn't working, might I add, because it glitched out, and every time I defeated all the enemies, it didn't unlock the chest. And I didn't know what was wrong, so I just kept killing a group of enemies that kept spawning until I finally rebooted the game. And on top of all of this caca, I missed some gems and an outfit. I did not show this whole thing, but this whole ordeal took me 2 hours to find. And that might not sound like that bad for a game that's only a few hours, but it is when all you're doing is running. Yep, see, 1 hour I was looking for a corner of the map that I totally walked by because it's placed in such a stupid ass area to the point to where it didn't look like that much. And the very last one I totally walked past when I went up to go unlock the fire waifu on the mountain, which was even more annoying because every damn time you walked up the mountain, you had to go through these 8 pieces of feces that should have been swallowed at birth. The next trophy popped when I went to the 4th and last island. Woo. And you want to know the element theme that they chose? They went on Halloween. And I also hated this map with every damn fiber of my rage engulfed being. Aw, the maps are bad. That's cute. Ozzy Osbourne would like to talk with you. Now on this island, I only got 2 trophies. One for unlocking the Halloween waifu, or who I like to call a waste of my goddamn time. And also for unlocking all of the waypoints once again. Alright, on to the bullshit. I finally found an enemy that I hate more than these big boob parasites, bats. Not only do these pathetic pieces of shit do more damage and follow you around even faster now, they're also everywhere. And also enemies respawn in this game, so every step of this map is just littered with filth they call an enemy. And talking about filth, this map is even more stupid. You'd think having a map that's more confined would be easier on collectible hunting, but hold your nuggets when I say this, it's not. But we'll get to that. Oh, we'll get to that. Not to mention though, that all of the waypoints are even more spaced out. Not to mention though, that all of the waypoints are even more annoying spots to reach, which made this mountain section a pain in my ass because they placed 2 turds right in front of the bridge to cross. And now you're saying to yourself, Masoda, you're just bad at games. And I'd reply, eat a dick, because this piece of trash sucks donkey balls. Not only is her abilities the lamest ones and the wackiest ones of all, her gun is also the shittiest of all of them. I'm assuming the purple shots are supposed to be poison, which doesn't matter at all if 1, the whole gimmick of the gun comes from the poison and not the actual power behind the shots, which is weak as hell by the way. 2, the shots you shoot are all scattered to the point where shooting the enemy in the dark would be more of a viable option than this. And 3, you have the most aggressive, dangerous, and accurate enemies in the game going up against a purple-headed bimbo who's cockeyed. And yes, I know I could have changed my girl, but I was going with the theme of whatever island I was on. That and content, of course, duh. Outside of those complaints, that was basically all there was to this map. I did end up missing a few blue gems and outfits again, which did take me another hour to find. But I'm so tired of being angry about it that I don't even care anymore. But after finally collecting all the gemstones, outfits, and actually dying a few times, yes, I died a few times, because this level is pure butt cheeks. I finally collected all of the blue gems, outfits, waypoints, and waifus, which meant there was only 2 trophies left. Now, by this time, I had already had an idea about what the next trophy was, which I was right about, which was get one of the girls to heart level 5. I'm just happy I didn't have to get all of the girls to heart 5, because I might have gone insane. But just for shits and giggles, I decided the girl that I would get to 5 stars was actually the first girl, because we didn't have a lot of time with her in the first place. And also, I did want to see how long it would take to actually level up a girl from 1.5 hearts all the way to 5, which was another hour. See, the problem with leveling up in this game is that the XP you receive from the enemies are extremely small. Meaning, in order to actually level up my girl, I need to actually find some type of strat that would have the best possible results. At first, I was jumping from map to map just doing a full lap of the island, but most of the time, that wouldn't muster up to really anything. And I couldn't go back to the Halloween island, where the enemies did drop more XP, but they were more of a headache to deal with for what little you did get. But I actually ended up going back to the Fire Island, where I actually found my strat. At least something good came from this stupid ass island. So there's this part of the map where there's a roundabout where these enemies constantly spawn in from. So I decided to literally just run in that circle over and over again, farming XP, until finally the trophy popped. And with that trophy popping, that followed the last and final trophy to pop. Waifu Master.
Nobody's master, got it? I don't want you here, and I don't want you here. I'm stuck with you.
I was going to actually go back originally and upgrade all the girls to level 5, but 1, there wouldn't be anything interesting to watch, honestly. It's just me running in a circle. And 2, even thinking about leveling up that purple winch gives me a raging migraine. Alright, well, there you have it. Waifu Impact 100% platinum. Now, despite every headache I had from this game, I really do have to give credit where credit is due. Despite all the crap, the in-between where I wasn't going crazy was actually pretty fun. I think it was the idea that I was playing a game just for shits and giggles, rather than it being the next new shiny game that just came out. Don't get me wrong, this game isn't the greatest in the world or an underrated gem, but the fact that some type of love and attention went into this game is honestly enough for me to appreciate. Now, remove those damn bats! I think the fact that I had low expectations actually made playing this game more fun, honestly. And it makes me even more excited to play other weird games on the PlayStation Store, just to see what laughs I can get out of it, and not even in a negative way. But for a game that's only $5, I really can't be that critical about it. I know this game was supposed to be a game that just appeals to gooners and perverts, which it does, but realistically, I totally forgot about that after a while. But that was probably because I was going mentally insane. But well folks, that about does it for this episode. Sorry if this video is a few weeks late. I just wanted to focus a little bit more on quality with these videos rather than quantity. If you want more consistent content, check out my shorts on my channel, and while you're at it, make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel to keep up with all my latest videos drops. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. But like I always say, make sure to stay tuned and stay chill.